Okay, so here we have the most important part of any motocross track, the start line, and the first uphill straight into the first corner. So you can see all the riders are going to funnel into this. There's been some criticism in recent weeks of World Championship rounds running with 20 or so riders. No issues with that here at the Revo British Motocross Championship, fueled by Gulf Race Fuels. We've had fields of nearly 40 riders in most classes, and they will all funnel up from this start line, which is of course the grill side, exactly like the World Championships and the AMA racing. So top level equipment as always, and they're going to funnel up into this very tight left-hander here that is completely 180 degrees. And Mr. Chambers, I want to see whole shots just for that, okay? So it's absolutely vital to get a good start up into that tight left-hander, because then it immediately comes down into this tight right-hander here. So you've got 180 degrees left, 180 degrees right, and if you look at the floor here, this is soft stuff. So this is going to get choppy and rutty, and on the first corner 30 or so riders are going to funnel into this, and it's going to be hectic. And also for anybody that's tried to put a tent up in Canada Heights paddock, as I just have done, there are rocks. They will know rocks are there. So as soon as they come out of this corner, around out of there, they are going to get blasted with the rocks as they come out of that corner. So lots of incentives for riders to get a very good start here. So here we have the first jump coming up after the first two corners on the actual circuit itself. So they're going to come firing up here, slightly uphill, and this jump is nice. It's not too steep, it's pretty shallow, but it does launch you a distance. So there is a decent tabletop there, and again on the first lap that's going to be vital to clear this and make those extra few seconds on the opening lap, again making that first corner, that getaway out the gate, massively important. But otherwise this will be a fantastic part of the track to watch at, because they can fly in over here and they're right next to the audience over there. So if a rider's feeling it, you'll put on a bit of style on for the fans. So we're now in the tree section. So we've gone up that tabletop jump, then taken a sharp, nearly 180 degree left-hander, and now we're into the tree. So literally I can barely see the sky in here, so it's actually going to stay moist. So this track here, as you can see, completely sodden. This is going to rut up, get very rough, and it's basically going to be a very technical section of the track. This is where the best riders will make their time, because it will get rough, the lines will change through the day, and it will move, and it won't be completely rock solid like a lot of the circuit that's baking in the sun right now. So this quite a long right-hander. In road racing they call it a double apex right-hander, and then you go up to one of the faster parts of the circuit. So all the time you make around here, the faster you get around this corner, the faster you're going to go up that straight and up that hill after it. So the riders have gone one of the faster parts of the circuit, and then they come plunging here into this left-hander. It narrows down, it will again get rough, choppy, and then it funneled down into this right-hand section. Beautiful track preparation here. You can see how well it's been graded, but again it is soft and it is going to rut up and get rough, bumpy coming in. All the skill and technical side of motocross is going to be needed through here. This sort of stuff makes me want to get back on the bike. I love this sort of stuff. And then we're going to come down into here, and I'm seeing this for the first time. So you're coming down into here, this is again, you're going to get a rut here, probably a rut out here. There might even be a blasty line around the outside, because after this you power downhill, a quick left, and then launch down the hill here, which is going to be incredible to see. As Mark Man used to say, you know it's a big jump when you can't see the landing. And this is proper stuff here. We're downhill, there's a proper gradient here. You can't really see it on the camera, but it comes down, and this will absolutely launch you miles. So a quick launch, quick demonstration. Up you go. Whoa! And the landing is way down there, down slope. This is the place to watch. It's going to be mega. So straight after that big downhill, and it is downhill, the big downhill jump, you come into this extremely tight right-hander, a hairpin. You literally double back on yourself and then straight back up the hill. A fast speed into this corner is crucial. There'll be braking points, and there will be passes made into this corner, because somebody will leave the throttle on or the brakes off just that little bit later than normal. However, faster in and slower out. So it could well be somebody goes slower in and then accelerates hard back up the hill, and that will combat the inside move. So lots of possibilities here, opportunities for close passing, and even block passing could get controversial. Absolutely massive uphill section here. So from a very tight hairpin bend, it flies up here, and again you've got to be right on the gas. So you've got to get that corner absolutely bang on, and then up here you carry all your speed, and you're going to launch straight back into those trees again. Now my lovely camera assistant didn't want to make the climb, so I'm going to go around and I'll see you on the downhill. We'll go back up to this point in a minute. Up the top there's an off camber. Remember those old school guys? The track goes like that. We'll show you that in a minute. But this big downhill jump is amazing. Massive, massive takeoff, step down and lands through here. And unlike that one, it stays as a fast bit of track, weaving down to the right hand side and then into a slow corner. So you can actually be brave down here, get the gas on. It's going to be an amazing place to watch here for sure. Overtaking opportunity coming up from that uphill, slight uphill section into here. You can stay tight, and then you got this little kicker, and it actually is a very small tabletop, so you can actually downslope it here. You could lie down here and no one would touch you. Or instead of that, you could go wide on the outside and blast around. So get interesting to see how this one turns out on the race day. So yeah, coming out from that 2-level corner, they then come into this tabletop. Absolutely vital to get this right, because this is a downslope, like quite a not a savage one, but certainly if you miss this downslope, you are going to lose a lot of time, and you can carry the speed from here all the way around that wonderful bold turn and straight across the waves. So if you don't make this tabletop absolutely clean, it will hurt you all the way around and back up to that big hill. There are 6 waves in total. Now, right now it's pristine and beautiful, absolutely lovely to hit. First lap of practice is going to be a dream, but again, it's going to get rough. What Americans call the transition between landing and taking off. That's the vital bit here. Could be square edges, it could cup out and get deep. Either way, it's going to get more and more difficult through the day to double, double, double. I don't think it's possible to triple, triple, but I'm not a super fast rider, so who knows what the best guys will do. But either way, you got to get it right, because again, you've got a big uphill there, and that launches you up the hill further up. So it's got to get this section correct and keep your speed up, but it's going to be very, very tricky to do, especially in the last races of the day. So I'll let you into a little secret that this corner can reveal. This is an uphill corner, uphill braking. Now, a little secret given to me by a former world champion, no less, is that you can brake later into an uphill corner than you can for a flat one, because the gradient slows you down. Lower level riders, amateur riders, could even just roll into this corner, ease off the throttle, because the slope will slow them down. But a fast rider will go quicker into this corner than a flat corner, because he knows he can brake later. And that's where those riders will make up a lot of time. I don't think that bowl section is going to get used. It's going to be firing into this corner, jam it round, back down the hill again. So our GoPro rider and resident presenter with the amazing shades, Bradley Wheeler, was amazed by this jump. This is so steep, right? I'm going to put my foot on the top of it. There's the edge. Now I'm 6'5", so my legs are long. But even so, goes to there. That's how steep it is, and it goes right up. So Bradley was really worried he was going to bang his head on a tree branch or a pylon or a cable or something like that, because this is a proper sky shot, and there is a down ramp. You have to get that down ramp again, or it will cost you at least a second in bouncing time. So this is a vital jump, especially after a tight left-hander like that. So Eloise with the camera is on the down slope from that one that sends you right up to the sky. And then you go straight from there, straight into a big uphill double. And that's a steepie. That will send you very high. But again, you've got to get it right. This one, not just saving on time, but also the danger element. If you land short on this one, that can be very painful. I'll show you how steep it gets, because it gets right up here. Enough to get me well and truly out of breath. You've got to land there, which is virtually horizontal, it's virtually level, and then you power up and you've got another uphill jump coming after it. Spectacular bit of track. There's the potato area over there. This is where, so remember that bit that our camera lady wouldn't climb? This was the corner after it, so this is just after the bit we've done. We might have to edit this. Anyway, they come out from this little drop off, and look at this, old school fans. This is an off camber. You remember this? It's high up here and it's really low down here. So you could jump into that if you really want to, I don't know how that's going to cut up, or most likely they'll be tickling at the inside of this to then just keep it nice and tight, take the shortest route, and then put the power on to go there and right and down the next big downhill. But either way, it's a nice little technical bit of circuit, although for sure, with how soft it is, this is definitely going to get a rut about here, about there, and maybe a couple more out there. So it's going to be very tricky in this little corner. But there you go, old schoolers. We have off cambers still available in top level motocross. Look at the curve on that, absolute beauty, and I think it's what they call in the trade a hip jump. So this is where you might see shots of the bike over like that, the rider almost sat on the number plate to keep it low and stay on the ground, because it goes down, left, and into a section that you can really make some time. But a beautiful section. It's going to be lush seeing the riders coming up into this. Left-handed kind of hip jump. It's also doubly vital because that is effectively the last corner. Up next to the camera there is our tower, so I'll be able to see this every day, for every race anyway. But that little hip jump and left-hand corner will be vital to break the beam here and complete your lap, or even complete your race. This is good old-fashioned motocross, where it is just a flat blast coming from the finish line area, curved coming into this. The corner tightens up, it's slightly cambered as well, so it's higher on the inside than on the outside, but there's two wicked kids who are just playing in the sand. But again, this is going to be your old school techniques, finding the smooth lines, maybe at the edge of the track, the little bits where they double between braking bumps, just to save that bit of time. All of that is going to really pay into this, and you'll see which riders have got their old school techniques down, as well as just the bits with the jumps. So this completes the lap. After the 180 degree, come out to here and power up the hill. Again, got to get that corner right. If you've made a mess of that corner and slow up, it's going to cost you all the way up here, because you need the power slightly softer here, power sapping dirt, and of course the gradient makes it all the more important to get around that corner as swiftly as possible. So that completes your lap, and as a newcomer to Canada Heights, I'm in love with this circuit. I want to be here every week. It's absolutely stunning. So look forward to seeing you here tomorrow.